Welcome to the Big Cypress Tree State Park, located in Greenfield, Tennessee. We would like to thank our special camera person today, our son, Terry, for his help in capturing nature's beauty on this walk. All aboard the Kentucky-Tennessee Living Time Machine. Please fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times. But to get going, we need your help. We still need to fire up this time machine to transport us to the Big Cypress Tree State Park. Please help us by clicking on the like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons down below. Not only does this fire up the time machine, but it convinces the YouTube algorithm that we need a bigger time machine to reach more people who love history as much as you do. Now, back to our story. The rest of the video will be the sounds of nature and Terry's footsteps.
A true Tennessee Titan. It was once reportedly the oldest and largest known tree east of the Rocky Mountains, having sprouted out of the Obion River bottomland in West Tennessee some 500 years before Columbus sailed for America. It was a giant of a cypress, shrouded in mystery and legend for 125 years. It reigned as the national champion bald cypress from 1950 until 1976, when it was struck by lightning and finally succumbed to the ravages of nature and time. And here we have some pictures of how big the root system was and the big tree itself. The cypress was later featured in 1954 American Forest article when it was coined the Tennessee Titan. Much of the original tree was consumed by fire from the 1976 lightning strike. Some of the locals reported that it burned for several weeks. The old tree was hollow at the base with a cavity large enough to shelter 4 or 5 people. And here we have some pictures. It was 18 feet across. The Big Cypress of Weakley County was first discovered in 1949 in the remote and inaccessible swamps that remained flooded most of the year. In 1950, a small expedition of Division of the Forestry employees waded into the swamps and measured the tree at 39 feet 8 inches in circumference and over 122 feet tall. They noted that at the time that the top had been broken by storms, but that the tree may have once been 140 feet tall. History at Big Cypress Tree State National Area. The cultural and social history of this area began around 10 to 15,000 years ago, the Paleo-Indian period, when nomadic hunters gradually ventured into this area while following herds of migrating animals. Increased warmth and wetness ushered in the Archaic period. These nomadic hunters and gatherers would have fished and hunted in the nearby O'Brien River bottom. Deer and turkey would have been hunted with a spear and a tatal or spear thrower, ATL. An increase in population advances in agriculture, and tribal organizations would have began the woodland period. People began living year-round on these lands, growing squash and oil-bearing plants such as sunflowers. The unique phenomenon of burial mounds began during this era and is evident in the surrounding counties. Late in the woodland period, maize, or corn, first cultivated in Mexico, found its way to Tennessee and became a mainstay of cultures developing in the lower Mississippi River Valley. The early ancestors of the Chickasaw Indians resided in this area between 500 AD and 1700 AD and built temple mounds for ceremonies and worship. The Chickasaw still held claim to the lands west of the Tennessee River until 1818, when General Andrew Jackson purchased the land for $300,000 and later became known as the Jackson Purchase. David Crockett was perhaps best known in Tennessee as the noted hunter and for his unique style of backwoods oratory. Crockett was born in Greene County, Tennessee on August 17, 1786. In the spring of 1822, he arrived in Weakley County and built what was to be his last home. Crockett most likely would have hunted the lands you now know as the Big Cypress Tree State National Area. During his time, the cypress would have been the largest tree in the area and around 800 years old. During hunting trips, Crockett would have used the Big Cypress Tree as a landmark. In 1824, Crockett ran for the United States Congress, but was unsuccessful candidate for the House of Representatives. 2 years later, he ran again for the same office and won. He went on to serve in the 20th, 21st, and 23rd Congresses. However, in his run for a fourth term, he was defeated by a narrow margin. Disgusted by that time with politics, Crockett bid farewell to Tennessee and headed for Texas in the fall of 1834. In February 1836, Crockett and a few of his fellow Tennesseans were among the 186 defenders that sacrificed their lives at the Battle of the Alamo in the interest of Texas independence. The Big Cypress Tree State Natural Area. Big Cypress is 330 acres natural area occurring adjacent to a section of channelized Middle Fork of Obion River in Weakley County. The natural area is primarily forested with bottomland hardwood and bald cypress forest. Bald cypress forest is comprised of bald cypress, river birch, sweet gum, sycamore, overcup oak, water oak, willow oak, and cherry bark oak. The bottomland hardwood forest that occurs at higher locations includes green ash, swamp chestnut oak, red maple, and slippery elm with some white oak. The bottomland and sloughs surrounding the middle fork of the Obion River provide habitat for wildlife and its opportunities for bird watching. Swanson's warbler is known to visit the natural area and surrounding bottomland.
We at Kentucky Tennessee Living would like to thank you for watching our visit to the Big Cypress Tree State Park. Don't forget to hit that like button, as the more likes we receive, the more likely the YouTube algorithm is to suggest our videos to other viewers. Also, to receive notice when we upload a new video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification button. We thank you for continuing to support Kentucky Tennessee Living as we are discovering the beauty that lies within our national, state, and interstate park systems.